Hi everyone, good evening, good afternoon, and you are ready. You're welcome to Power Up Monday. You know, one thing I love about Mondays, and one thing I love about Power Up Mondays, because we get this quick shot. You know what I mean? We get this quick shot, this quick dose of energy, of adrenaline, of empowerment, of wisdom. You know, I was saying something to my crew here, and I said, you know, a lot of people, all of us, we need that community. We all need that empowered community to keep pushing us. You know, sometimes you don't have the strength, you don't have the energy, you don't have the courage, right? But there's just something about being in a community where you leverage on somebody else's strength, you leverage on somebody else's, story, you leverage on somebody else's courage, and then you're like, you know what, I can do this. You get inspired, you get empowered, and you just get that energy to rise and to move right? And so I'm super excited. If you're here today, you are welcome. I'm so sorry we're starting a little bit late. I'm not in my usual location, so we have a bit of technical issues. But hey, here I am, and I'm super excited to be here with you today. How many people are ready to get empowered today. And today I'm going to be sharing with you something really exciting, a topic that really excites me. Excites me because we all of us, non-exclusive, all of us, inclusive, right, go through this. It's called, I call it the comfort zone, the fear of the comfort zone, or the power of the comfort zone. But today I'm not just talking about the comfort zone. I want you quickly how to overcome the fear of the comfort zone. How many people are excited about that? I want you to overcome the fear. Now, if you're here from the Dare to Become journey, I want to encourage you to ensure or to make sure you go through every resource that has been given to you, right? Every resource that has been given to you. Very important. A lot of times we know what we want, but we're not willing to pay the price for the breakthrough that we require. And that's why a lot of us like to just pray and hope that everything's going to be okay, right? But after we have prayed, then we need to take steps, right? We need to be intentional. And I'm showing you how to overcome the fear of the comfort zone. And this is path to your authentic living, right? Now, I'll start by saying, every woman carries within her the seed of greatness. Every woman carries a seed of purpose, of authenticity, right? However, many of us may stuck in cycles of comfort that are safe. Cycles of comfort that are safe, right? But silently suffocate our potential, right? And the amazing thing is we're not even aware. We're not even aware. So the comfort zone is not a place of destiny. It's not a place anyone should be. It's a holding pattern. I'm okay. I am good enough, right? And this pattern prevents us from experiencing the fullness of who we're created to be. It limits our minds. It limits us. It keeps us stagnant. It keeps us in a place where we don't want to be. Now, to live authentically, we as women must confront and conquer the fear of leaving our comfort zone. This fear often hides behind familiar excuses like, what if I fail? What will people say? I'm not ready yet. I don't have all it takes. I'm too busy. We even use busyness as an excuse to stay in our comfort zone. But the truth is, your authentic life will never be found in the place of comfort. Your authentic life, in fact, your authentic life will never be found in the place of comfort. In fact, growth does not happen until you leave your comfort zone. So you may think, hey, I'm growing, but listen, growth starts the moment you step out of the familiar, the moment you step. And for some of us, a lot of us, listen, we all face it. I mean, recently, like I told you last week, I had to step out of my comfort zone in a particular area. I needed to embrace the new me that my mind was telling me about, but I was a little bit afraid. Do you understand? Just that I keep reminding myself, God has not given me the spirit of fear, right? If not, I could have been afraid. But my heart was beating because I felt like this was unfamiliar territory. And it's just so much easier to just stay where I am. But nobody stays in a particular place and grows. And that's really it, right? So, our authentic life can really be found, discovered in the place of courage. In the place of courage. Remember, I said, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing what you have to do, even if you have to do it afraid. Courage is stepping out of your comfort zone with your knees buckling, your teeth chattering, but you step out and you move. and you make that move and you tell yourself, whatever it is, I'm going to go for this, right? Because the comfort zone is rooted in fear. A lot of people don't like who they are. A lot of people don't like their situation, their circumstance, but the fear of change scares them to their wits, that to their bones, that they would rather embrace the pain of the comfort zone. Where they are is not pleasant. They don't like their lives. They don't like themselves. They don't like the situations, but their minds are fixed. They have the fixed mindset. They're not able to break through in their minds. They're not able to embrace new challenges. They're not able to go for new things. And I understand, girl. I understand. I understand how it feels. I understand the challenges. But one thing I've come to know is that both the rich and the poor, the successful and the unsuccessful, they all feel the feelings of fear. So you see, fear is not some things that happens to people that are small, or that happens to people that that are poor, or people that are not successful. Fear happens to everyone. However, the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is that the successful takes that bold step and they move in spite of their fear. But the unsuccessful makes all the excuses in this world why things cannot work, why they can't change, why they can't leave their comfort zone, and even blame other people. You know, when someone blames everyone and when there's no one to blame, you blame inanimate objects. You blame the weather, you blame the government, you blame the table, you blame the door, the car. Have you ever seen someone frustrated at the car before that they kick their cars? Right? But my point is, let's have that energy into moving forward rather than, expend that energy in anger, right? Anger, resentment, jealousy. Let's focus, let's channel that energy into productive things and productive ways that actually cause us to move from where we are to where we need to be. It's all in your hands. Now, let's look at the comfort zone. What is the comfort zone? What is the comfort zone? I'll say the comfort zone is a mental space. It's actually a mental space. It's a mental space where routines, habits, and predictable outcomes feel safe and familiar, even if they are unfulfilling. But I feel uncomfortable here. I'm comfortable, sometimes comfortable in a mess. And someone, you hear people say, the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. I totally disagree. I totally disagree. Right? So, it's a comfort zone is a mental space rooted in fear. The comfort zone is a mental space rooted in fear, where routine, habits, and predictable outcomes feel safe and familiar, even if they are unfulfilling. And this is why it feels safe, because the brain is wired to avoid risk, right? There's something in your brain that incidences trigger. It's called fight or flight response. When things happen, your mind tells you fight or run. So it's called fight or flight, right? Fight or flight. And the one you train to work is the one that shows up most of the time, right? So the brain is wired to avoid risks. It prefers familiarity over uncertainty. Do you understand? It prefers familiarity over uncertainty. And one thing I've come to realize about fear is that fear, number one, is false evidence appearing real. Number two, fear is physiological. Do you understand? Fear is physiological, meaning it is not, it is, for instance, if you hear a loud noise, you are startled, but it doesn't mean you're really afraid. And your mind has been programmed to attach things, unfamiliar territories, unfamiliar things with fear, fear of the unknown, fear of, that's why there's racism. That's where there is all kinds of prejudices. Why? Because people are afraid of what they don't know. People are afraid of what they don't know. I don't know what my future looks like. I'm afraid. I don't know what this is. I'm afraid. I don't know what that is. I'm afraid. Are you with me? So the brain is wired to avoid risks, preferring familiarity over uncertainty. And this is why the comfort zone feels safe, right? But this is why it is also dangerous. While the comfort zone offers temporary security and safety, right? The comfort zone also breeds horrible things like stagnation, like regret, like a false identity. Every time you take the flight response rather than the fight response, your identity is tarnished. Now you begin to, beat a dent into your identity. You begin to weaken your identity, right? You begin to embrace a false identity. You're not weak. You're not fearful. Do you understand? You're not weak. You're not fearful. You're not clueless. It's up to you to fight. It's up to you to get up and say, I'm not all these things. And, make up your mind. I'm going to live my authentic life. I'm not going to allow fear to stop me from living my life to the full. I'm not going to allow for everyone who has ever succeeded. It's because they broke the mold. It's because they stepped out of their comfort zone. It's because they embraced the risk. It's because they stepped on that water that seemed deep and dark. They took that risk. They took that step. They walked on water. The one to walk on water will never come until you step on that water. I'm going to ask you, so what are the things that I'm limiting? I'm going to ask some questions at the end of this session that I need you to think about. I need you to answer those questions because therein will be answers that you never knew you were even asking, right? So, the comfort zone may offer us temporary security, but it breeds an atmosphere of stagnation, of regret, and false identity. I tell people, listen to me. Whether there's always pain, no pain, no gain. It's not only when it comes to building muscles and exercising. When it comes to life itself, no pain, no gain. For a new life to be birthed, there's the pain of labor. It's called the labor pain. When a woman has labor pain, oh, you don't start binding and casting, do you? When a woman has um, labor pains, but is excited because new life is about to be birthed, right? So for new life, for the new to come, there's usually the pain of change, the pain of shift, the pain of creating a new, should I call it a new pathway? Do you understand? And whether you change or you don't change, there is pain involved. The question is, one is temporary, one pain is permanent. The permanent pain is the pain of not changing because you're going to live your life in regret. You're going to grow old, wondering what life would have been like if you started that thing, if you stepped out, if you went beyond yourself, if you broke the mold, if you came out of it in whatever area of life. But you see, the pain of change, there's also pain when it comes to change. Right? The pain of pushing, of birthing, the pain of change. Change is the only thing that is permanent in life, and yet it is painful. Why? Because you need new habit, you're stepping into unfamiliar territory. It's painful. So sorry. I went off for a bit. Okay. Are you back? I am back. Right? I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So we're talking about the root of fear in women, in women's lives. Why are women afraid? Okay. I think I'm back. Okay, I think I'm back. All right. So sorry about that. So let's look at the root of fear in women's lives. We talked about the cultural conditioning. Now we all know, don't dream too high, and you're not getting married. I mean, it's also amazing. So because I'm getting married doesn't mean I should stop living because I'm getting married, right? So you have the don't aim too high. um you know don't just be okay, be contented where you are. You don't need too much. You're getting married. Yeah, and in some cultures, right, women even go to school, because what's the essence? You're going to get married and have kids and all of that. So we have cultural conditioning, we have fear of judgment, right? A lot of women worry about criticism. We worry about rejection from family, from friends, from society. And so we'd rather just stay small, right? Because if everybody's on this level, who are you to try to reach for more? You remember the experiment of the monkeys. Monkeys put in a ditch, in a pit. And then every time they tried to jump, there was someone at the top that would hit them on the head so that they fall back in. And then after a while, they stopped hitting them on the head. But this time, their minds were already conditioned to not, jumping. So they never tried, they never attempted it anymore. And then they now brought another monkey who did not experience, right, what the other monkeys experienced. But this time, that monkey, whenever it tried to jump out, the other monkeys will pull it down. Monkeys are not supposed to jump. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Trying to jump out of here. Can't you learn? Can't you see all of us in this place? And that's really what it is. We don't want to be judged. We don't want people to think we're all that. And sometimes it seems to me when women strive for more, they are said to be arrogant. But I beg to disagree. You have as much right as any other human being to dream and to live your life. If you're young in this place, let me give you an advice. Don't wait until marriage before you start dreaming. Never ever put your life on hold because of another human being. Let whoever is going to marry you find you, so do it. Let whoever is going to be with you find you in the midst of your pursuit in life, the pursuit of your purpose, the pursuit of your significance. Let him find you so doing in the midst of living your life and your purpose. Do you understand what I mean? But never postpone your happiness, never postpone your purpose, never postpone the things that are in your heart to do because you're waiting for someone. And listen, to those who are married, never ever cast down your dreams and sacrifice your dreams for marriage or kids. You can have it all. You can live your life, have your kids, raise up your children. It's a lie of the devil from the pits of hell that says, when you have kids, then you sacrifice your life. Yes, there will always be certain sacrifices, but you don't want to grow old and punish your children, or raise up children and then you punish your children because you say to them, it's because of you my life has not gone ahead. It's because of you, I didn't take those opportunities. It's because of you. And then you blame your children for your lack of activities or your lack of success. And that's not true. So you don't want to do that, right? Women are afraid because they are afraid of failure or success. Is that not interesting? Is that not interesting? There, please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you can hear me or if you can see me. Right? Please let me know if you're here. You can hear me, you can see me. Right? So, fear of failure or fear of success. That's also another big deal. Fear of failure, fear of success, right? Failure feels shameful. And so we don't want that shame. Failure feels shameful. Failure feels like, I don't want to fail. The shame of my family, the shame of this, right? And success also feels intimidating. So some of us would rather just stay where we are and keep on coasting. No failure, no success, no risk, not attempting anything. I'm just coasting through life. That is not how to live. That is not what life is all about, right? And then we also have past trauma, negative patterns, self-doubt, all of those things, right? Old wounds that keep whispering to us, you're not enough. You can't do it. You don't deserve it. You're nothing. You've got to be able to silence those voices in your head and tell yourself, and that's why we make declarations. That's why we make declarations. That's why we always speak, and I teach you to speak, right? Whenever negative thoughts are coming, it's up to you to beat down those thoughts with words. You don't deal with thoughts with thoughts. You deal with thoughts with words, right? Now let's look at signs that you are trapped in a comfort zone. I couldn't believe it. In life, at different times in life, in different seasons, you need to break inertia. When you ask yourself, when last did I do anything out of the box? When last did I attempt anything? So you realize that you get fixed, you get trapped in a cocoon. You get trapped in a cocoon, not moving out, not trying. So at that point is the time you need to do something crazy, something you've never done before. Because growth happens when you step out of the comfort zone. So here are signs to show that, or to let you know if you are in a comfort zone. You dream often, but you rarely act. So you have all these big ideas, but you never do anything. That's comfort zone syndrome, right? Are you there? That's comfort zone syndrome. You keep postponing important goals. You set your goals and you postpone it. You set your goals and you postpone it. You keep postponing important goals in life, right? You feel restless, unfulfilled, and generally stuck in routines. Sometimes you're just going round and round in circles and you feel restless. There's something more. Whenever you feel there's something more, that's when you need to take certain steps out of your comfort zone. That is God telling you, that's a divine indication that you have outstayed your welcome on this level. How many people have felt that before? You just suddenly start feeling restless and you know that, I just feel like there's more. I just feel like there's more. I just feel like there's more. That is a divine indication that you have overstayed your welcome on a particular level. And it's time to push out of that level into a new season, right? Into a new season. Now, you are in a comfort zone when you secretly admire women who are living their lives bodaciously. They are living bold lives, but you convince yourself, I can never be like them. I've heard people say this. Oh, I finished speaking and someone says, don't mind RD, don't mind RD, that's her. And I'm like crying inside me. No, that's not me. It's not just about me. It's not just for me. Being bold is not an RD thing. Being confident is not an RD thing. Do you understand me? It's something I had to learn myself. It's something I had to experience, breaking out of the mold myself. It's something that I had to fight to become myself. So don't think sticking your head in the sand like an ostrich is going to solve it. You've got to rise up yourself, allow yourself to feel inspired and not intimidated, and take those bold steps. Do you understand? Let's look at steps to overcoming the fear of the comfort zone. Let's look at the steps you need to take to overcome the comfort zone, right? Let's look at it. Step one, awareness. I keep saying this. Self-awareness. It's amazing how many people don't understand that your problem is not finances. I always say believer does not have a power problem. We just have what? A knowledge problem, a revelation problem. That same way, our problem is not the problem. Your problem is that you have embraced the wrong identity. You have embraced the wrong, that is the problem. Knowledge, right? And that's why self-awareness is must happen before you move to the next level. You must acknowledge that, yes, I'm stuck right now. A lot of people don't even know they're stuck. A lot of people still argue, oh, I just bless God, I just bless God. And that's great, bless God. But you see, you've got to understand, I'm in a bad place. Do you understand? And a lot of people don't even realize it. It amazes me that someone will be broke all their lives. And I'm like, excuse me, don't you know you're broke? And don't you know that there's a way out? Don't you have people around you, or at least see it, that's that have changed their lives? Are you not inspired? But unfortunately, they can't see. They're blind. They have a fixed mindset. They're not aware. So they don't realize how bad the situation is. They know it, they feel it, but they're just not aware. It's like a kind of blindness, right? So you've got to acknowledge that I'm stuck, right? You've got to be able to name the comfort zone you're in. It's in the area of career, in the area of marriage, in the area of finances, in the area of spiritual growth, in the area of personal growth. It's amazing how many believers don't even realize they're not growing spiritually. Personal growth, a lot of people don't know. So awareness is, and you've got to be able to acknowledge, you've got to be able to find where you're stuck in life. Are you stuck in the area of your finances, in your spiritual growth, in your career, in your business, in your marriage, in your marital life, in your personal growth, in your spiritual growth? The first step to overcoming the fear of the comfort zone is to acknowledge where you're stuck. Acknowledge where the comfort zone has built a cocoon around your mind and so around your life, right? The second thing, step two, after awareness, is redefine fear. Redefine fear. Fear is said to be false evidence apparent. Tell yourself, it's not real. It's as real as I embrace it. There are people that are walking in what you call a dream right now. What is a dream to you? Somebody's reality, somebody's easy, it's somebody else's comfort zone. Meaning it's a dream that may never be fulfilled, or something you see ahead is already somebody's comfort zone. Somebody has already overstayed his welcome in there and is looking for how to step out of there. Do you understand? So really, fear is personal. Fear is physiological. It's personal. And so when you say, you're just saying, what I'm afraid of right now is not really real. And I'm just going to act like it's not real. So fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that growth is near. Whatever you're afraid of, whatever area of life you feel that sense of that physiological feeling of fear, understand that growth is around the corner. And at the end of my fear is everything I've dreamed of. So am I going to allow that fight response to overwhelm me? Am I going to allow the flight response? That's up to me. So instead of saying I'm afraid, say I'm stretching. I'm growing. It's time to grow. Don't say I'm afraid. Say I'm stretching. I'm growing. Do you understand? Because really, whenever fear shows up, growth is around the corner. It's an opportunity. Fear is an opportunity for growth. It depends on what you do with it and how you deal with it, how you redefine or how you define fear. Step 3, right? Shift your mindset. Shift your mindset. You see, everything is in the mind. The fear is in the mind. Simple. That's why it's called false evidence appearing real. It's in the mind. So instead of saying, what if I fail? I would call it mind your language. When I was young, there was this, what do you call it now? Sitcom. It was called Mind Your Language. It was really funny. Right? So I would say, shift your mindset, mind your language, shift your mindset. What does that mean? Watch what you say. Your words have the power to affect your emotion. Your words have the power to stir up certain responses. For instance, how do you think you will feel if you say, what if I fail? You can't say, hey, what if I fail? What if I fail? Now, but when you say, what if I fail? Your emotion, everything comes down. But what if you say, hey, what if I succeed? It comes with an upbeat tone, upbeat emotion. So instead of saying, what if I fail, replace it with, what if I succeed? Fear, the voice of fear tells you, what if you fail? People laugh at you. Come and say, what if I succeed? People rejoice with me. Do you understand? Replace is too risky. I can't take that risk with, staying the same is the greatest risk. So I'm not going to stay the same. Do you understand? Ooh, our time is running really fast. Step 4. So what is step 1? Step 1 is awareness, right? Step 1 is awareness. Steps to overcome the fear of the comfort zone. You've got to be aware that this is my comfort zone. I'm in a comfort zone in this area. And sometimes you don't even know you're in a comfort zone until the challenge rises. Do you understand what I mean? Until there's a challenge, until there's a risk, until it's time to take a step. Most of the time we're in a comfort zone and we don't realize it. And that's why constant growth, oh my God, that's why constant growth will constantly expose your comfort zone areas a lot. As you're reading, as your mind is growing, as your mind is stretching, it opens your eyes to see areas where you're stuck and areas where you need to make a change. Do you understand? So the first is awareness. The second is redefine fear. The third is shift your mindset or mind your language. The fourth is take small courageous steps. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing what you have to do, even if you have to do it afraid. Break the big leaps into small steps, tiny steps, baby steps, one step, but move. Make that step. Each step proves to your mind that discomfort will not kill you. It will only strengthen you, right? Hard work has never killed anyone. Stepping out has never killed anyone. And the moment you step out, you realize, oh, someone says, oh, there's a lion on the road, I can't go out. But the moment you step on the street and you look left, right, everything, you realize that life is going on as usual. People are going to work, people are doing life, and you were stuck in the house saying, because a voice lied to you in your head, that there's a lion on the street. But the moment you get on the street, you realize that, hey, there is no lion. Life is moving on for everybody. Life has been going on while you are hiding in your comfort zone. Do you understand what I mean? So break those big things, those big dreams, those big leaps into little steps. And each step will trick your mind, will prove to your mind that discomfort will not kill you. It will only strengthen you. You'll only be stronger. You'll be wiser. You'll be more confident. It's called the law of victory. The more you do something and you succeed, the easier it is to do it another time, and then to go another step further, and to just go another step further. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step at a time, right? And step five, let's go quickly. Embrace failure as a teacher. Someone says, oh, no, when it comes to life, failure is feedback. Failure is not a bad thing. Failure is feedback. It's not final. Failure is not personality. It's an event. Every mistake contains wisdom that builds resilience in you. Every mistake contains wisdom that builds strength, that builds resilience in you. Fail forward, right? It's called Failing Forward. John Maxwell wrote a book and called it Failing Forward. There's nothing wrong in failing forward. I tell people, successful people have failed many more times than unsuccessful people. That's why they're successful. They have tried, they have failed, they have learned, they have received feedback, they've plunged forward with better strategy, knowing what to do better. All right. Nothing succeeds without failure. The scripture says the righteous will fall 7 times and each time he'll rise. Right? He'll rise again. Every time he'll fall, he'll rise, he'll fall, he'll rise. Children can never walk until they fall. They try, they attempt it, they fall, they get up, they learn, their muscles are stronger. Are you with me? They never give up. Someone inventions are a product of someone failing over and over and over and over and never giving up. It is said that what's his name? That did the bulb. That he did it. What's his name again? It just escaped my mind. He tried it almost 10,000 times before he got it. Almost 10,000 times before he got it. Are you with me? What if you have stopped at 100th time? What if you have stopped at 1,000th time? But he had seen the picture. He had seen it. And he just knew in himself that I'm just going to keep on trying until I get it. Because there's something about seeing a vision of your life, of your future. You are so convinced about it that nothing can stop you. You know I've seen it. I've seen it, except I've not seen it. But if I've seen it, I'm just going to keep on trying until I get there. Right? What's your excuse? What's your excuse? What's your excuse? Step 6, surround yourself with courageous women. This is so powerful. Your circle determines your ceiling. Your circle determines your ceiling. You know, we're afraid of people we perceive to be better than us. We don't want to be friends with them. And those are the friends you need. People that are better than you. People that will stretch you. People that will inspire you. If you're the kingpin in your circle, you're in the wrong circle. You need to change that circle. If you're the best in your circle, you need to change that circle. Are you with me? Your circle determines your ceiling. Walk with women who will challenge you to be better, who will inspire greatness out of you, who will call out the authentic you from within you. Your net worth, they say, is your net worth. You can't be better than the 5 closest people to you. So you ask yourself, who are the 5 closest people to me? Who are the people that I hear all the time, all the time? You can't be better than them. If your friends, if you have 5 foolish friends, you're the 6th foolish person. If you have 5 wise friends, you're the 6th wise person, because you will be exactly and have experiences like the 5 closest people to you. Number 7, or step 7, and this is the last part. Anchor in faith and purpose. For women Wow, so sorry. Wow, wow, wow. So, so sorry. Are you still here? Are you still here? Okay, I just need to round off. Okay, and I said I must round off, right? I'm not going to leave until I'm done. So we're um talking about the the steps to overcoming the fear of the comfort zone, right? We said awareness, redefining the fear, shift your mindset or mind your language, take small courageous steps, embrace failure as a teacher, surround yourself with courageous women, right? And then lastly, anchor in faith and purpose. The scripture says in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, it says, his thoughts for you, I know the thoughts I think towards you, the thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you hope and a future, right? Not to harm you, not to harm you, but to give a future and a hope. You were created for greater things. You were created to do bigger things, right? You were created for the stars, right? You were born to make impact. You were not just born to be a fly on the wall. You were not just born to go through life, small. You were not born to be small. You were born to do great things. So own your identity. Own your identity. Take your place. Own your space. Do you understand me? Understand that fear is in the mind. It's false evidence appearing real. If you never attempt it, you will never know if you can do it. The next time fear tells you you're not enough, you can't do it, don't bother. It's going to stress you. And you start having those thoughts, those inner battles. Can I? Should I? Will I? Tell yourself, why not? If somebody has done, I can do it. The power to walk on water will never come until you step on that water. So what I'm trying to say is living authentically, is living beyond your comfort zone. Every time you find yourself in a comfort zone, stuck in a comfort zone, please listen to me. You're not living your authentic life. You're living another person's life. You're not living in your full identity, right? Authenticity is not about being perfect. It's all about just taking that step and moving, and moving and moving. It's choosing to live in agreement with your God-given identity, with your values, with your dreams, your voice, with your voice. What you believe is true. What you believe is real. When you overcome the fear of the comfort zone, listen, you'll stop living for approval, right? And start living with conviction. The moment you overcome the fear of the comfort zone, you stop living for approval and start living your life by conviction. You create impact instead of settling for survival. You begin to attract opportunities. And I've seen this happen over and over because I've been there. And I will never stop being there because, I know that because I'm constantly growing, I will constantly, realize I'm in a comfort zone, in a cocoon. And I'll constantly have to break that cocoon to stretch into a bigger me. You understand? Into my new identity as I grow. You begin to attract opportunities. You begin to attract relationships that align with your true self. You begin to inspire the next generation of women to break free as well. I think the most amazing thing about breaking out of fear, breaking out of the comfort zone, is how your life inspires the next generation women. It's how your life inspires your daughters. It's how your life tells a story, rewrite somebody else's story to say, if you can, if she can, then I can also. And I'm going to round off with these questions. And I want you to write these questions down and go ask yourself and solve it. Number one, what comfort zone are you currently stuck in? Think about in what area of your life do you feel like, when you think about coming out, you're afraid. What area of your life, are you currently stuck in the comfort zone? Number two, what fear is really holding you there? What are you afraid of? What are you really afraid of? Number three, what small courageous step can you take immediately this week, today, right now, after this class? What one courageous step, a small courageous step can you take to break free from that cocoon? And lastly, who in your circle inspires you to live authentically? You need to give that person a call. You need to, find a way to connect with that person and all of that. Let's take this declaration. Now, before we do, listen to me. The Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp is calling you. Get on board. Get on board. Don't be afraid. Don't tell yourself, I can't afford it. Do you understand? Ask yourself, how can I afford it? Not that I can't afford it. How can I afford it? Get into the waiting room. Be bold to ask questions. Get into the waiting room and get on the train for the next level. Listen to me. What you don't know is limiting you. What you don't know is stopping you. And there's no how you can break free as long as you stay in that constant state of ignorance. And that's why I tell people, the Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp was made for you. Step right in, get into the waiting room, ask your questions, and let's your life. It's going to be the best 6 weeks of your life, right? So let's take this. And if you have not yet gotten this book, Living Your Life by Design, what are you waiting for, girls? What are you waiting for? What are you doing with your life, right? What are you doing with your life? Get on board, get the book, get into the growth curve, get into that growth place and devour everything you can get that is recommended, that it will change your life. All right, let's take this declaration as we round up because we are done for today. Are you ready? This is so good. Are you ready? Like I said, don't fight thoughts with thoughts. Fight thoughts with words of your mouth. Mind your language. Say the right things. Say the things you want. Successful people don't say what they have. They say what they want and they get it, right? Because where your mouth goes, your life, your mind will go and your life will follow suit. Are you ready? Come on, let's go. I'm a woman of courage and purpose. I refuse to be confined by fear, doubt, or the false safety of my comfort zone. I'm not created to shrink. I am created to shine, to own my space. Come on, say today, I release every mindset, every excuse, every limitation that has held me back. I silence the voice of fear, insecurity, and people's opinions that tell me I cannot. Faith over fear, purpose over passivity, and boldness over hesitation. I step out of the shadows of comfort and I step into the light of my authentic self. I am fully aligned with my God-given identity, dreams, and destiny. I'm not afraid of failure, for every stumble makes me stronger and every lesson lifts me higher. I am not afraid of success, for I carry the grace, the wisdom, and the strength to sustain it. I will no longer live to please others or settle for less than God's best for my life. I embrace growth. I embrace change. I embrace the unknown with confidence, with God confidence, knowing that God has gone ahead of me to make every crooked path straight ahead of me. Come on, say, I'm a voice, not an echo. I'm a leader, not a follower of fear. I'm a trailblazer, a barrier breaker, a history maker. My life is a testimony of courage. My life is a testimony of courage. I dare to dream audaciously. I dare to dream audacious dreams, to live authentically, and to love unapologetically. I am unstoppable, unshakable, unafraid. This is my season of freedom, my season of boldness, and my season of becoming. I step boldly out of my comfort zone. Today, I step boldly out of my comfort zone and I walk into the fullness of who I am and the woman I was created to be, a woman of destiny, a woman of influence, and a woman with generational impact. I leave a legacy for the next generation. I live batons and not battles. Oh, come on, celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Hey, thank you so much for showing up tonight. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And that'll be the last of this series. And next week, I'm going to talk about how to live your life audaciously, right? We talked about living your authentic life, coming out of the comfort zone. But after you've come out of the comfort zone, how to live your life audaciously, all right? And I look forward to that next week, Monday. Until then, stay empowered, and don't forget, sign up, get into the waiting room of the Navigate Life Strategy Bootcamp, and I look forward to seeing you in there. Have you learned something today? Have you learned something today? Right? Have you learned something today? Unfortunately, I can't see you today, so I can't read what you have learned today. But you know what? You go share it in your groups or wherever. Go share what you've learned. And if you're on the Dare to Become group, I will be there to check out what you have learned. You know, I'm going to ask you anyway. I love you guys, and I hope you were blessed. I hope you were changed. I hope you were challenged. I had to challenge myself to step out of my comfort zone again very recently, right? It's something you have to do all the days of your life. There'll always be a bigger place. There'll always be something higher, and you've got to choose the fight response and never the flight response. All right. See you guys at the top. God bless you. I love you. Have a good night.